All right, we live here with Sean Craddock. Now, there has been talk about what does the boxing socialist know about boxing? You know, an editor actually went public and made statements that this guy was not relevant to the sport of boxing, and what did he bring to the table? So we're going to let Sean Craddock tell you what is his relationship to boxing and how did he come into boxing to bring us boxing socialists. All right, let's give the floor to Sean Craddock.
All right, that's a fair question, Carcino. How did I get into boxing? I got into boxing when I was young, like around 20 years old. I went into the Army, and I finished basic training and went to AIT, which was school, for 6 months. And I wanted to do a sport, but all the sports were full at the time. So the sports director, I was in Fort Gordon in the Army in Georgia. And the sports director said, hey, the only sport you can play right now that's open year-round is boxing. And I was like, boxing? He said, yeah. You got to go all the way to the other end of the base. So I went there, tried it out, loved it the first day, and started my amateur career at the age of 20. Then from there, I had a couple smokers, and then I went overseas to Germany. And while I was over in Germany, I had a lot of fights. I was on an Army team, I was on a German team, and I was on an international team, all at the same time. And at that time, I had fought at 139 pounds. Now the amateurs change up. Now it's 141. I wish I could have had those extra 2 pounds back then. But I fought a lot of fights in amateurs over there. And at one time, I was ranked second in all Europe over in Germany at 139 pounds. And lost a very close decision in the finals. Had came down to flu the week before, and I was on bed rest for 3 or 4 days and still made a weigh-in and still fought and made it to the finals. And I got disqualified with 10 seconds left for excessive holding because I was tired fighting with the flu. But I was winning the fight, but got disqualified with 10 seconds left, so that's how I got ranked second in all Europe. Came to the United States, had a couple years off because I couldn't find any boxing gyms. I was in Kansas, not too far from where Victor Ortiz was training at. And got in there and got back in the swing of things, but I jumped from 139 to light heavyweight in 178. And had a couple fights there. I actually won the Mid-South Championship in Memphis at heavyweight. So I came in 180 pounds. I was 2 pounds over, and so I still ended up winning it. I wouldn't recommend fighting the heavyweights. To only be 5'8". That wasn't an easy task. And then I went on, and I actually made it to the Eastern Olympic Trials in the 2000 in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Got all the way to the semifinals and lost at the semifinals to this guy from out of New York. After that, I said, I'm 27, 26, 27, it's time to turn pro. And as I was going to turn pro, my wife got pregnant. And that pretty much ended everything. I went from going to the boxing gym to coming home babysitting every single day. So I said, you know what, maybe it wasn't meant for that career. But I did finish with 35 wins and 4 losses. So I had a pretty good run, close to 40 fights as an amateur. And then as time went on, I moved here to Texas. And I ran across this girl. She came and I fixed her computer, and she was telling me, hey, you need to come by, the boxing gym. I said, boxing? I said, well, I used to box. She said, oh, man. She said, we're looking for trainers. We need trainers. So I went there, checked it out, went and took my test, got certified as a USA boxing coach. Been training for the last 3 years. I have a few fighters. They do pretty good. And that's pretty much how I got into boxing, since I love boxing so much. I mean, when I went to the Eastern Olympic Trials, I had a lot of friends that had Kermit Cintron and Jermaine Taylor, Jeff Lacey, Shachu Powell. There was a lot of guys I met there that still fighting to this day and just love boxing. There's no way anybody can say, Sean, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been in the ring. I've had almost 40 fights. I trained fighters, been to championships, and whoever that editor is, one day he might want to get in the ring and we can have a sparring session. I'll be more than happy to show him the skills that I have.
Well,
I'm getting older now.
You didn't edit any video. Have you ever edited a video?
Edit a video? What do you mean?
Like, were you editing videos ever in your profession? You didn't do any video editing, so that's what his job is. So he's an editor. So I guess that tells. I guess editing videos will give you experience on boxing. I don't know.
No, I didn't edit no videos. I did the real thing. I mean, I've actually gotten there and got busted up, man. I mean, I've had a lot of good fights, and it's hard being on 3 teams. Like I said, I was on an Army team, international team, and German team, and it was a lot of fighting going on, man. I fought against some of the best, and anybody that's fought in the USA team know that it's not easy going fighting Europeans. They're the most hardest fighters to fight. So, that's why I have experience. That's why I have input. That's why I started Boxing Socialist. So, I'm a lover of boxing. I've done it. I've been there. Never turned pro, but, I've actually been in some corners with some pro fighters. So I've been there and done it, man. Boxing is just second nature to me now, man. So to that editor, my experience speaks for itself. And that's why I love boxing. That's why I have Boxing Socialist.
And to the rest of the boxing public, now you know who the Boxing Socialist is. Boxing Socialist, and we out.